My name is Terry Sells, and I'm a student of social work at the Community College, Allegheny County South Campus, and here for an interview.
Okay, let's begin. So, how has the profession of social work developed over time?
Well, it started with funds. It started with funds from uh, the houses that provided services to um, people in need, people who were at risk, and they were from the private sector. And as time progressed, um, the government started giving money towards the needs of the people, and they found that they would need to. But as time progressed, the funds from the government reduced based on the times and the funds got reduced, and they'll need to go back to the private work in order to um, be there with the funding that's needed.
So, looking at like for more than a century, it talks about the profession of social work, how it has grown, evolved, and adapted to address the needs of individually diverse population. Um, how can you add to that a little bit?
Well, they do the. We have to get more creative in um, getting funds to provide services for social workers to do the work that they need to do. Um, I know that in the school districts, for to be specific, there's some schools that have 1,400 kids and they have one social worker. I just don't see how that can be worked out as far as how can that social worker be effective, uh, knowing that they have 1,400 children in 9 months to get through and service those children.
All right, so what will the profession look like in 5 years?
Well, they 5 years. Well,
Do you think a lot is going to change within the next 5 years?
uh, not a lot will change in 5 years because it takes time. I mean, when we talk about servicing people who need help or who are at risk, uh, a lot of the work is done by the people themselves. So we can't do anything. We can provide services. We can suggest, but a lot of the work is being done by the person who needs the work, who needs the services done for them. So 5 years is not enough time to see a change.
What about how would a profession, well, what would it look like in 10 years from now?
Well, I see the population growing, and the need being greater out there, and as things progress um, with mental health and alcohol and drug use problems coming to surface, I can see where um, there's a need. There's always going to be a need for a social worker um, to provide support and advocate for their people.
What would a profession look like in 20 years from now?
20 years. 20 years, I can see a lot of social media involved. Um, we have Facebook now, we have Twitter, we have Skype, we have laptops, we got smartphones and iPads, and we're using all of these resources to do non-face-to-face confrontation, or not confrontations, but meetings with the people, and being able to, I mean, there's a lot of people who don't like going to appointments, and this might encourage them to talk to and be more free with their with the information that they provide, so that they can get more help.
How are social workers utilizing technology to meet the needs of vulnerable, underrepresented, at-risk, and disadvantaged individuals, groups, and communities?
Well, through this social media, like I said, we find that people are more apt to provide information, speak freely, because, I mean, everybody's Skyping and sending text messages and things like that, and they seem to be willing to give up more information than they are whenever they're talking to somebody face to face, or feel like they're obligated to talk to somebody face to face.
All right. What about how are we, like, how can we effectively use technology moving forward with what we're doing today? Do you think that that we need to, increase our technology, or do you think it's going to gradually increase over time?
I think it'll increase over time, but we also have to remember that we're dealing with people at risk who might not be able to afford all the technology and all the new things that are available out there. So we have to slowly evolve into we have to meet the clients where they are, and where they are sometimes is not necessarily with the the high technology that's out there and available. I mean, we still have to be willing to meet with them face to face, and hopefully the funding keeps coming through, that we can, if possibly, get back out in the field and do some work that way.
Well, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, to have this conversation and answer the questions that I provided for you today. I think it was a learning experience, and I think that we have a lot of work. We've come a long way as social work has transformed and transcended over time, and we still need to. We have a long way to go.
Yes.
So I thank you for that.
Thank you.